Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer and our beloved friends. So today our case study is about target data breach Unravelling the attack 2013.
Hi, my name is Noatina Pandamiti Malik and my metric number is 2024698666.
My name is Nur Elena binti Azhar and my metric number is 2024235574.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Sani Syamini binti Malik. My matrix number is 2024429328.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ali Irfan bin Muhammad Ali and my matrix number is 2024288044.
For introduction, the target data breach of 2013 was the pivotal event in cybersecurity history. This sophisticated attack occurring between November and December 2013 went beyond a simple lapse. While target had a smaller incident in 2011, the 2013 breach affecting their core payment systems highlighted the critical need for robust security. Our presentation will dissect this case study, explaining how attackers compromise payment card data of approximately 40 million customers and personal information of up to 70 million individuals. We will trace the cyber criminals path from initial infiltration through a third-party vendor to their deep penetration of target's network. A key focus will be on the memory scraping malware deployed on point of sale (POS) system to capture sensitive data and the techniques used to exfiltrate this massive amount of information. For the background of this case study, Target, a major retail giant, was highly successful before its 2013 data breach. The company heavily relied on interconnected IT systems, making it a prime target for cybercriminals due to a vast amount of payment cards data it handled. While many companies focus on perimeter defenses, Target, like others, didn't adequately address insider threats or third-party vendor vulnerabilities. Despite investing in security technologies like firewalls, anti-malware, and intrusions detection prevention systems, and being PCI DSS compliant, Target's security was not comprehensive. The evolving nature of advanced persistent threats (APTS) and sophisticated cybercriminal groups mean that static checklist-based security approaches were insufficient. Ultimately, attackers exploited overlooked vulnerabilities and operational gaps within Target's complex environment, leading to the breach.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I would like to talk to you through the problem identification section of my case study, which focus on the infamous 2013 target data breach, one of the most significant retail cyber attack in history. This breach wasn't caused by a single failure, but rather than a chain preventable cycle. It all started with Fazio Mechanical Services. A third-party vendor was granted access to Target's internal network. Unfortunately, this access was not properly restricted or monitored. Once hackers stole the vendor credentials, they were able to move deeper into Target system with ease. One of the major issues was the lack of network segmentation. Ideally, sensitive systems like the point of sale or post should have been isolated. But in Target case, everything was interconnected that allowed the attack to spread through the network freely and install malware on the POS system, eventually stealing data from around 40 million payment cards and personal information from 70 million customers. What's even more alarming is that the target had security tools in place, specifically software from FireEye that detected the breach early on, but those alerts were ignored or not prioritized, which meant the opportunity to stop the attack in its early stages was lost. Another suspicious issue was overconfidence in compliance. Target had recently passed PCI DSS audit, which gave them a false sense of security. But as we have seen, passing a compliance audit does not mean your system are truly secure. And finally, something as basic as multi-factor authentication or MFA was completely missing. If MFA has been required, the attackers would not have been able to log in with stolen credentials alone. It would have stopped the breach before it even began. So, to sum up, this breach happened not because one of massive failure, but because of many small yet critical gaps: over trusting vendor, poor connection, poor network design, ignore security alert, relying too much on compliance, and lacking strong access control like MFA. In this case, to show us the cybersecurity is not just about having tools or passing audit. It's about using those tools effectively, staying vigilant, and constantly reassessing risk. So thank you.
For the evaluation, enhanced third-party vendor security and oversight. The Target 2013 breach revealed a critical vulnerability, lack security oversight of third-party vendors, epitomized by an HVAC contractor's access. To prevent recurrence, organizations must implement robust due diligence for all vendors. This includes granting vendors only the absolute minimum access required for their specific function and only for a limited, defined period, least privilege, and time-bound access. Furthermore, ongoing security requires regular inspections of vendor systems, strict network segmentation to isolation vendor access, and meticulous monitoring of their online activities. Finally, strong contractual agreements with vendors, including cybersecurity clauses and regular audits, are vital to fortify the entire supply chains against cyber threats. Second, robust network segmentation. Robust network segmentation divides a network into smaller, isolated sections using tools like firewalls. Its main purpose is to limit the blast radius of cyber attack. If one segment is compromised, like Target's HVAC contractor network, the attacker is contained, preventing them from easily moving to critical areas like point of sale system (POS). This isolation makes attacks harder to execute and easier to detect, enforcing a zero-trust approach where no internal segment is implicitly trusted. The third one is improved security monitoring and incident response. Enhanced security monitoring and incident response are crucial. This means prioritizing alerts using a same platform to consolidate security data, and having a dedicated security operations center SOC with clear response playbooks. Effective response includes strict authentications, system isolation, source removal, and recovery. Regular training simulations are also key to ensuring readiness and transforming monitoring into a proactive defense against cyber attacks.
Our purpose solution focus on addressing this core failure through a multi-layer approach. So the first approach is third-party risk management. In third-party risk management, there are 3 ways that Target should address to overcome the issue. So the first thing is truly assess the security practice and risk profile of third-party vendors before engaging with them. So Target needs to look at their security certifications, policy, and any past security problems. By checking their vendor security, is important to keep customer data safe. And secondly, is only letting vendor access the specific system and data. Target should only give access to the parts of the network that they need for their jobs. And thirdly, Target should regularly check and compare its vendor and system security to the top standards, such as ISO 20001, and NIST cybersecurity framework to identify and fix the security gaps and to identify devices accessing the system and protect data with strong policy and to detect unauthorized access by responding quickly to the threats and recover from the attacks. And the second solution is customer data protection that target can protect sensitive and customer and payment data from unauthorized access and reduce the risk of data breaches. So for example, target should protect their customer data information by using AES encryptions. And lastly is target should stop backup offsite and test them to ensure it can quickly restore customer information to guarantee it can maintain integrity and minimize the impact of a breach of its customer data in the system.
Next, enforce multi-factor authentication (MFA). The attacker were able to infiltrate target system by using vendor credential they had obtained. Had multi-factor authentication (MFA) been in place, this breach might have been prevented as the attacker would have been required to complete an additional verification step. MFA strengthened identity verification by requiring users to provide two or more forms of authentication, such as password and a physical device like a fingerprint or security token. Even if attacker had stolen valid login credentials through phishing or malware, they still would not have been able to gain access without the second factor. According to cybersecurity experts at Microsoft and the US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency (CISA), MFA can block over 99% of credential-based attacks. For this reason, organizations are strongly encouraged to apply MFA across all critical systems, especially for third-party vendor, administrative account, and remote access. Next, adopting a zero trust security model. The zero trust cybersecurity framework operates on the principle that no user, device, or system, whether inside or outside the organization network, it should be automatically trusted. The target data breach highlights the need for this approach. In that incident, the attacker initially accessed target network using login credentials from Fazio Mechanical Service, a third-party vendor. Once inside, they were able to move freely across various systems without limitation, eventually reaching the point-of-sale POS system. There, they installed malware and stole the credit card data of over 40 million customers. A zero-trust model could help mitigate this risk by enforcing strict role-based access control, segmenting the network to limit movement between systems, and also continuously monitoring activity to detect and block suspicious behavior.
Now, we move on to understanding and reasoning concept cases. Let's look at the operation readiness phases in the target data breach causes. So on 9 November 2013, the attackers target Fabio Mechanical, a third-party vendor that provided HVAC services to target by sending a phishing email to him 2 months before the attack happened. So this email helps them to steal a login details, which later used to access the target networks. So the second one is infrastructure readiness phases of the target data breach. So several weaknesses were found between November 11th and until November 28, 2013. So cyber criminal exploited vendors, which is a Fabio, weak anti-malware using a Citadel malware to steal login credentials and then moving through the network by accessing the system like Ariba with default password. Thirdly, detection and notification. Initial detections of malicious activity by target semantic and FireEye system on November 30 escalated to increase FireEye alarms on December 12 as a theft commenced, prompting a Department of Justice or DOC notification to targets on the same day, followed by targets official confirmation of its data breach by December 15th. And the next is physical crimes investigations. On December 18, 2013, the Federal Secret Service began its investigation with the help from FBI. In digital crime scenes investigation, on December 18, 2013, the investigations into the bank account in the bank in courts began shortly after the American Express confirmed a data breach. And in the confirmation phases, on December 19, 2013, Target confirms the root cause of this issue is a phishing email that was sent to the Favios. So this email tricked an employer at Fazio Mechanical, a third-party vendor, by exploiting a weak point in Target's extended security perimeter. And in submission phases, by January 10, 2014, the legal proceeding begins, and the Federal Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, or CFAA, was applied on the Target data breach.
For trace-back phrases, number 8, Digital Crime Scene Investigator. This has happened at 15 November 2030 from the initial breach HVAC vendor to the data exfiltration server. Investigators followed a sub-vector. They also traced the malware sources and the tool used by the attackers. Number 9 is authorization. This happened at 15 November 2013 also. By using hacked third-party credentials, the attacker were able to gain illegal access. The failure of permission control, particularly concerning vendor access, had to be determined by investigators. Next, we go to dynamic phrases. Number 10, which is physical crime scene investigating, happened at December 2013. Tangible elements such as point-of-sale terminal or in-store system may have been examined in person to verify malware delivery site and rule out manipulations. 11. Digital crime scene investigation. The timeline, attack, patch, and malware behavior were all reconstructed using extensive digital forensic. Discover the method used by attackers to stay persistent and steal information, and this happened at mid-December 2013. Number 12. Reconstructions. The timeline of the breach was reconstructed as following. First access happened by November 15. Installing malware happened by late November, and exfiltration of data happened till December 15. Target was able to comprehend the compromise and strengthen its system as a result. 13. Communication. Target interacted with the public, banks, regulator, and law enforcement. Later, their CEO gave a conversational testimony. They also had to send out customer support notice and public announcement, and it happened in 19 December 2013. And for the lastly, review phrases. 14. Post-incident review were carried out despite not being indicated in the chart. Target committed 100 million in system upgrade, redesigned its security protocol, and appointed a new Chief Information Security Officer (CISO) in early 2014. Next, we go to dynamic phrases. Number 10, which is physical crime scene investigating, happened at December 2013. Tangible elements such as point-of-sale terminal or in-store system may have been examined in person to verify malware delivery site and rule out manipulations. 11. Digital crime scene investigation. The timeline, attack, patch, and malware behavior were all reconstructed using extensive digital forensic. Discover the method used by attackers to stay persistent and steal information, and this happened at mid-December 2013. Number 12. Reconstructions. The timeline of the breach was reconstructed as following. First access happened by November 15. Installing malware happened by late November, and exfiltration of data is happened till December 15. Target was able to comprehend the compromise and strengthen its system as a result. 13. Communication. Target interacted with the public, banks, regulator, and law enforcement. Later, their CEO gave a conversational testimony. They also had to send out customer support notice and public announcement, and it happened in 19 December 2013. And for the lastly, review phrases. 14. Post-incident review were carried out despite not being indicated in the chart. Target committed 100 million in system upgrade, redesigned its security protocol, and appointed a new Chief Information Security Officer (CISO) in early 2014. Next, we go to the recommendations. First, strengthening vendor risk management and third-party access control. One of the primary lessons from the 2013 Target data breach, recognized as one of the most significant and costly cybersecurity incidents in the retail sector. The breach originated when attackers exploited credentials stolen from Fazio Mechanical Service, a third-party HVAC contractor, due to weak internal safeguard within target network. This highlights a common organization flaw, granting excessive network privilege to external partners. To reduce such vulnerabilities, organizations should implement thorough vetting process for vendor, ensure access is limited strictly to operational needs, enforce contractual cybersecurity obligations, and also maintain continuous monitoring of third-party access. Next, number 2 is implementing network segmentation and micro-segmentations. The second essential recommendation is to establish both network segmentation and micro-segmentation. This strategy involves dividing the network into isolated zones to separate high-risk or critical systems, such as customer database and point-of-sale (POS) terminal from less sensitive parts. In target breach, the attackers were able to move laterally across the network from the vendor entry point to the POS system due to poor internal segmentations. By adopting micro-segmentations, organizations can contain potential threat and limit the impact of breach by preventing unrestricted access between different parts of the networks. Number 3 is enforcing multi-factor authentication (MFA). The third recommendation focuses on the use of multi-factor authentication (MFA) for administrative account and third-party access. MFA requires users to confirm their identity using more than one method, such as a password, along with a time-based code, fingerprint, or a mobile device prompt. In the case of the target, the breach could likely have been avoided had MFA been in place, as the stolen credential alone would not have been sufficient for access. According to Microsoft 2019, MFA can block more than 99.9% of credential-based attacks. This method not only counters the specific weakness exploited during the target incident, but it also widely endorsed by cybersecurity authorities like NIST and CISA as a key component of robust security infrastructure.
In a nutshell, to prevent future cyber attacks, Target should boost its cybersecurity by protecting customer data, by using a multi-factor authentications, conducting third-party assessment, and adopting a zero-trust model. And Target can serve as a model for this cybersecurity measure in the US retail industry. And that's all from us. Thank you.